Take 5. Okay, so that was, this is Take 5, Dave Brubeck, is it Brubeck cover? By Rodrigo y Gabriela, the brilliant flamenco guitar players. And I saw this the other day, somebody mentioned it to me and asked if I knew it, and the answer to the question was no. But I did say I'd have a go at working it out, which I've done. And I'm doing the Gabriela part first, the rhythm bit. I want you to, if you can, just have a look at this. If you get a chance, just sort of take a snapshot of that, alright? They're the main chords for this rhythm part, alright, which is what we're going to do now. So you need to take a snapshot of that. And the other bit you need to look at is this. Now I tend to scribble in my own particular way, but people can understand this. Okay, there's 5 beats to the bar on this. You've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and if you take a snapshot of that, you can see the chords that we're going to play within that bar and the beats and half beats that we're going to play on. All right, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and, all right. So now when you look at this, these chords are pretty straightforward. Because they're being plucked with fingers, you don't have to put your fingers on the whole shape, and they don't. So I've made sure that I've copied these shapes, the inversions of those shapes, exactly as they are played on the track. All right. Now, why am I using this instead of this? Well, I was working it out before and had a bit of an accident with it. So I'm playing it on this because I said I'd do it, and I've got to restring the whole of that nylon. But you know, you get the idea. I'm going to play it exactly the same way, but it's just that I've got to do it on this. All right. So let's look at the inversion of the E minor. All right. You'll all know it like that, but there's lots of ways of playing an E minor, and this is a great way of doing it. You're going to put your second finger on the 3rd string at the 4th fret. Put your 3rd finger on the 4th string at the 5th, and put your little finger on the 2nd string at the 5th. All right. So it's like that. Keep your 1st finger free, and your fingers 1, 2, and 3 are going to pluck strings 4, 3, and 2 like that, and we want. Okay, and this is where it comes to this thing here. Okay, and we're going to pluck that. If you take a picture of that, and as I'm explaining, it'll make sense. All right. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And now this other shape is a B minor 7th. Bar across the 5 strings at the 2nd fret. 2nd finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. 3rd finger on the 4th string, 4th fret. And all the same pick, same orientation of the fingers. Okay, so we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. 4. I can't say it and do it at the same time. Okay, just watch this. In effect, do this twice. Okay, and then do it once here. All right, and it'll sound fine. You can reverse engineer it later on as to what the timing is. Okay, so. Now over that bit, you've got Rodrigo. He's doing a sort of. Where's it go? So over those chords that we've just played, that's what goes on. I'll do the lead part for that now. I might as well while we're on the same part. So you're going to play, if you want to get a snapshot of this is the tab that I've tabbed out for it. Okay. Now I've sort of put these little lines down there, you know, so you get phrase by phrase, you know what you're doing. All right, so let's have a quick look at that. So put your first finger on the, this is for the first little phrase. Okay, so 4th string at the 9th, 3rd string at the 9th, 3rd string at the 12th. Okay, 2nd string at the 10th, then at the 11th, then at the 12th, back to the 11th, back to the 10th, back to the 12th on the 3rd string. I'll do all downstrokes for now. You'll have to do alternate picking with the play to get speed, but for now I'll just do it slowly. Sorry. Okay, and then back to the 4th string at the 9th, 4th string at the 12th, 3rd string at the 9th. I'll play those two sections again. And it's always important before you even attempt this to make sure you've got the phrasing in your head. Ba 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 bum bum ba. Bit out of tune, you know what I mean. And then we're going to move to the 2nd string. I'll put 2 fingers on the 2nd string. Put your first finger at the 7th fret and put your 2nd finger at the 8th, because we're going to play a little pull off. Okay, and then onto the 3rd string at the 9th, 3rd string at the 7th, and then 3rd string at the 9th again. And that phrase is okay. And then stay there, keep your 3rd finger on the 3rd string at the 9th and the 1st finger at the 7th. Okay, because the next phrase is pull off again, then 9 on the 4th string, 7 on the 4th, back to the 9 on the 4th. I'll play those 2 phrases. Okay, so to put those 2 bits together we've got this. After that, it does exactly the same thing again. I'll show you, but for one slight little thing. But the 2nd time round, it does the pull-offs from the 3rd on the 3rd string first, and then the pull-off from the 2nd string afterwards. Okay, so the first time round it goes. The 2nd time round it goes. Where are we? All right. So that's the main phrase, and throughout all that, the rhythm guitar is. Then we've got the nice bit, when it moves off to the. We're going to play a C major 7th. Now the pluck is still on the 4/3. The 5/4, 5, 4, 3 and 2. So our C major 7th is played with a 5th string at the 3rd fret, your 2nd finger on the 3rd string at the 4th, your 3rd finger on the 4th string at the 5th, and your little finger on the 2nd string at the 5th. Okay, and it's the same bar, same pattern on each of these chords. Okay, but every when we do the 4 and 5, beat 4 and 5, we change chord. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and you get it. Do da ba da do da. Now that's a D9. Now normally on electric you go. That's a funk chord. It's fantastic. You know, James Brown, all that sort of stuff. They play it like this because they're plucking it. First finger on the 4th string, 4th fret. 2nd finger on the 5th string at the 5th fret, and fingers 3 and 4 on strings 3 and 2. So can you see that? So we've got, okay, so 2 on the C major 7th, 1 on the D 9th. That's how we're going to remember it. Okay, then we're going to go down to B minor 7th, which we'll know from before. I get 2 on this one, and then up to E 9th. Same shape as the one we did on the D 9th, but 2 frets up. So finger 1 is at fret 6. This is your root note here at the 7th fret, and these 2 fingers down here at the 7th fret. Let me play that slowly from the C major 7th. Okay, then we've got an A minor, played in a really unusual way. Okay. We play the bass string with our first finger, and we put fingers 2, 3 and 4 in a row on strings 4, 3 and 2. Instead of doing that, because you may get a lot more noise doing that, so that's a nice way of doing it. Okay, and again we do that twice on there, and then we swing round to the D 9th that we played. Same shape as we played before, so let me play up to there from the C major 7th. D 9th, B minor 7th, E 9th, A minor, D 9th, and now a really novel way of playing a G major 7th. I've never played this way before. Now there's a full bar on this, and what you do is you put your bass finger, your first finger on the G bass note, second finger on the 2nd string within the same fret, and then fingers 3 and 4 on strings 4 and 3 at the 4th fret. So can you see that? I got mixed up. I thought it was that. It's not. It's that, and that's how you do it. And again, pick's the same, but there's a full bar, meaning it's da da ba da dum da. All right. So this is what we've got: C major 7th, D 9th, B minor 7th, E 9th, A minor, D 9th, G major 7th. What happens after that? We do it all again. But instead of going to the the G major 7th again, did I call it a C major 7th? We went to G major 7th. We go to a B 7th. We just trundle those fingers down to there. 1, finger 2 here on the 5th string, finger 3 there. We don't need this finger because we're not playing it. You know, there's no point putting it on. And a full bar on that. Bo ba, bo ba, boom ba. Let me play all that. And again. What happens after that? Just fiddle around with it. Alright, so that's the rhythm guitar. Now, when it gets to the C major 7th bit, this is where the does all that bit. Alright, so let's have a look at that. So just as a reminder, this comes in when the C major 7th chord comes in. Okay, so let's first string. I'll do all downstrokes for now, and you know, as you will know by now, if you want to go fast, you've got to do the alternate picking. Alright, so we start at the 10th fret. No we don't. Start at the 12th fret. So 12, 15, 12, 2nd string at the 13th. That's phrase 1. Okay, still on the 2nd string. That's 10, 12, 13, 14. Alright, so drop down to the 1st string at the 10th fret, to the 14th, back to the 10th, and then the 12th fret on the 2nd. And then to the 2nd string at the 8th. 10, 11, 12. play those two bits together. And then we go on to the first string at the 8th fret, then to the 12th, back to the 8th, and then to the 10th on the second string. And then we move, reposition our fingers, 3rd string at the 11th, and then to the 12th, and then 10, 11, 12 on the second string. Back to the 11, back to the 12, then the 13, and then onto the first string at the 10th. Alright, and then stay there, 10 again, to the 9th, then the 10, and then the 11th. And then scoop that finger straight back up to the 12th to do it all again. But then when we get to this last bit, instead of going that, instead of doing that again, we do this to finish. And to play that, we play the 3rd string at the 11th, the 2nd string at the 10th, 1st string at the 10th, 2nd string at the 13th, 2nd string at the 12th. Let me play that slowly for you. All right. Don't forget, if you take a snapshot of that tab I gave you before, then you can follow this quite easily. All right. It's quite tricky when you're doing it slow, and also that you don't really know it. So I'm learning it with you at the moment. So let's do it again. Then straight back into it. Alright, but if you can get 2 guitar players to do it, then it'll sound fantastic. And again, it'll sound good on nylons, or, you know, I don't know whether you noticed, but Rodrigo, he has a cutaway on his nylon so he can get up there. It's quite tight if you're playing it on a traditional classical guitar, but it's a great one to busk with. Now, there's all sorts of little ad-libs that go in and out of that if you listen to them doing it. Just play around with it and have fun, but you know, just get into that. I would have bought the record just for that bit. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed that. There's the chords again if you want to take a snapshot for the rhythm guitar. That's the tab that we've just done that goes with it. There's no other music in it. I think, as I say, it's more ad-libby stuff, so you know, just have fun, listen to it. You can see them on YouTube working out themselves. What should we do next? I was going to do yesterday last week, but I cut my thumb. It's all better now, so I'll do the tutorial for that. But any other suggestions, of course, give me a shout and I'll do them for you. Get your friends to subscribe. I'm back in my own little school on Wednesday, so these will be a little bit more scarce, but I've really enjoyed doing them, and I'm going to carry on. As long as you keep enjoying them and saying nice things, then I will keep doing them. So enjoy that one. I will see you next time, and